Hello Ken. In this video I'm going to show you how to build a bibliography. Actually it's a works cited because we're only going to be building the bibliography from the works that you actually cite in your book. So this is really easy. It might be a little bit intimidating at first because you have such a, probably not used to doing a bibliography for a 36,000 word book. But trust me, it's not that bad. We're going to be using APA style, which is the American Psychological Association, I believe. Um, I'm just going to search APA style so you can get some examples. Purdue Writing Lab has the best and easiest style guide, I think. There's a lot of different kinds, but yes, American Psychological Association. And don't let this intimidate you because it's very easy. It's a lot of stuff that you don't need to worry about, but we're going to use the in-text citations, which is basically just the author date style. And then we need to look at reference list is the word that we're using for bibliography or works cited. And what you're going to do is just do author. This is for just a regular book. And that's AA author, just an example. Year of publication, because what you're doing is you're going to list the author and year on every time you cite something inside your text, which is this is your text here on the left. And you're hopefully not going to be citing any dictionaries. I advise against that. But you are going to do it is something like this. Weinberg and Gould, 2006. So in your bibliography, it follows that same pattern where you have the author, then the year in parentheses, and then title of the work, and that's actually title and subtitle. Location, publisher, that's the city and the publisher. Now, how do you find that information? I'm glad you asked. So what I'm going to advise that you do, I'm going to undo these two things, is to take a copy of your paper, a copy of your book, and take out everything that's not a citation. So I'm just going to select this text here because I don't need it. I'm going to build my bibliography from this text. This is the easiest way to do it because you're going to be certain to get everything you need. Now I'm advising you to take out these dictionary citations, and so I just deleted that, and all I have left is this Weinberg and Gould. Now because you have a quote, this makes it really easy. I'm just going to highlight that. I'm going to go to my web browser. I use Chrome in this example. I'm going to paste that in, and it's going to take me to nothing. So I'm going to take the quotes out. Personality and sport, you can see right here, Foundations of Sport, that's the book. And you can see Weinberg and Gould. So what I'm going to do is click on About This Book, and there's most of the information. It doesn't list the city though. We know we needed the city. So the second step that I'm going to do is highlight this, and I'm going to search on Amazon.com has all the information. Now this is going to be just a lot of copy and pasting. I believe it doesn't really matter since you're not doing page numbers. It doesn't really matter which edition you cite. So I suggest that you cite the most current edition. November 11th, 2004 seems like it's going to be the latest edition of this book. And you scroll down to the bottom, it says product details. Now, this lists the publisher is Human Kinetics. It does not list the city, unfortunately. But you can look at the first page if it's in here, and it is. And this lists every city it's been published in Europe. So we want the United States, and it's going to be Champaign, Illinois. Now, this book took a lot more steps than normal. I'm going to go back to the Google Books here, and this is what I should have done earlier. So you're going to learn from your mistakes, learn from mine. I could have just typed in, but I wouldn't have been able to copy and paste. That's why I went to Amazon.com. So what I do is, now that I have all the information, I'm going to go back to this Amazon page, scroll down to the product information. Sorry, I'm going all over the place here. Usually they'll list the title right here. Copy this. It's just a lot of copying and pasting the bibliographic material. You know, this is one reason why you don't want to oversight, because you're going to have to put all this information in manually, and it's going to stink. I'm going to go ahead and make this in Times New Roman 12. That's a very common font, but you can make it whatever font you want. It's just easier for me to read. I'm putting 12, and in black. Gotta get rid of the. And remember, like I said, you have author year first. If you have, I'm not sure how APA style does it, but in most styles, if there's more than 2 authors, you don't have to list everybody. But you just go down here. See, I have edited book with author or no authors. That's if you have this person here as the editor. Edited book, no author. This means that you know who the editors are, but not who the authors are. So this is how you cite that. I don't believe you have books like that. Okay, so I went to reference list authors because there's more than one author in the book that we just looked at. So here's 2 authors. So this is the pattern that you use to cite 2 or more authors. And see, this is 3 to 7 authors. So you have a few books like that. So you have to list everybody with just their last name and initials and separated by commas. So it's not rocket science. It's just a little pedantic. But it's all the same style. So going to go back to your thing here. So I'm going to go RS. Let's see if we do and for 2 authors. And you do the ampersand, which I thought you weren't allowed to do. After you do this for a while, it's going to be second nature. And this is in parentheses. You don't have to put this in. Let's see. I'm just going to check and make sure the books. Okay, titles of books are in italics. And then, if you want it, and you definitely want it to look like this, they have it double spaced, which you don't have to do, but they have the second line indented. So what I do is highlight that, go to Format, Paragraph, Hanging 5.5, and you can see the little example looks like what we just saw. You can wait until you have all of them, all of your citations, and then do that. Or if you just hit enter, it'll automatically carry that style down. So I'm going to go down to the next one. This is just going to help me find the book if I can't find it. But you have 2 citations here, which I think you don't need, but that's okay. We're going to try to find this book a little differently on Amazon. And that didn't work. I think that's what you're trying to do is a quote. So I just highlighted it. That looks like a good source. Cohen links, that was your author. I'm going to search for that phrase, person to maintain. I think there's your quote. Yep, that's exactly what you wrote. So let's see if they have this. This is the source you used, evidently, to get both of those sources. And here we are. 2006 is what we're looking for. Links 2006. So all you got to do is copy that and put it in your bib. And what I do is, I'm working with Word, so I'm going to go back up here, hit enter twice, edit, paste and match formatting, and boom, you've got your citation. One thing I was unsure about is all the capitalizations. Evidently you don't capitalize in APA. I usually work with Chicago manual style, so I don't have all this memorized like with the other thing. I usually put on a movie or listen to music while I'm doing this. And the good thing about this is, if you're copying from a published work like this, it's not plagiarism because you would be citing it exactly like this, no matter if you found this information on Google or whatever, but it's going to be cited correctly. And that's the advantage of copying from here. The other one is from 2010. So copy that. And there you have it. You decided these two. So we're going to delete that. Go on to the next one. This is another new thing. I am assuming that you copied it from the same source. So I'm just going to paste that in. And sure enough, it's right there. And this should take us to the Bibliography, 1997. Let's see if that's the same thing. And it is Harder Bresnik. So I'm just going to go up there, hit enter twice, edit, paste and match formatting, and everything is correct, which is wonderful. So I'm going to delete this because it's already there. Scholl and Effers. So I'm just going to copy this one. And actually, and that's Scholl and Effers. This PDF kind of messes with my copying. So I'm there, edit, match formatting, correct citation. And whenever you have this is a journal article, it's really easy to tell because it's going to have that number beside it, which is the volume number. And you put journal articles in italics, and you're going to have to come up here and put, this is a journal article, put that in italics. And see if you go, this is Harder Brusnick, so I'm going to go back to that bibliography and show you the formatting. Harder Brusnick, and you see this development and psychopathology. That's a journal. So you need to make sure that you do have, I preserved formatting so you could have your everything else correct. So that's a small trade, I think. But you can do it however you want. So it's not rocket science, but it is a little pedantic. And then after you have this all finished, you need to alphabetize it. And if you have an author like this, you put the single author first, and then the multiple authors. And then if you have single authors and you have more than one work by the same author, you always put it in chronological order. And it would be 2006A, 2006B. That's where in 2006C would be the third one. Excuse me. So we got that. We're just cutting out everything. You already have Gould. We're cutting out everything that is not bibliography. And you already have that one too. That's Gould again, Gould again, Gould again. And this one is new, Reynolds and Ripetti. So I'm just gonna look this up in the bibliography. This could be how you do it. Reynolds, Ripetti. And I'm just gonna paste it in, and we can see what it looks like. Man. See how it's tiny? You'd have to go like this. That would get it in the right order, but I think that they still took out the journal italics. Trying to help you get this book to look professional without spending too much money. I can do this for you. It would cost you $200. I kind of didn't want to nickel and dime you to death on this because I know you can do this, and it would make your book look a lot better because it would take all this, it would simplify everything, and make your book look professional and a lot easier to read. And so you got Minius et al., which means there's more than 3 authors. And I'm going to look and see if it's right here. And sure enough, that we got one from 2002 and one from 99. I bet it's 99. Let's look and see what you have. You have 2010 right there. Still using the same source. That's okay. I'm just going to go back so I can get that formatting. This child development is a journal, so it's in italics. And this is just regular. It didn't have to have anything. That's how you guys do it in psychology. Now we're on Arnett and Shorts. I'm just going to keep looking. And this is how you do it. You just keep looking in the bibliography, and you're going to find a lot of them in the same sources. That's what I found whenever I was looking for plagiarism. Arnett, 1999. And I'm going to look, and you can remember American Psychologist. That's a journal. I like using match style. And you see we lost the formatting. So that's what you do. And if you must cite a web page, it should show you right here in electronic sources how to do a web page, and it does right here. So this is the information you need for the web. This is extremely easy. It also has the online journal articles citing the DOIs. I believe that you do this correctly, actually, and then you can always look at your original source to see how they cited it. So I hope this is helpful to you. It's not rocket science. It's not a whole lot of fun, but it is something I believe is necessary. It's going to make your book look, instead of looking like it is now, which is a little incomplete and confusing, it will look like a professional work, like the ones that you're using. Just go back to here. Your book is going to look more like this with your references. It actually should look exactly like this. This is a professional journal article in your field, and they cite things correctly up here. With your their sources, in-text sources. You don't see anything where they list all the information inside the text, and then you have this work down here. So anyway, that will, I think, um, make your book look professional, easier to read, and just doing a good job. So it will, your book is good, and your citations are not good. So this would make your citations match the good content that you have. So I had to do this in one take, so I apologize if I made any repetition, but I believe this will get you on your feet. So thanks for choosing me for your project, and have a good night.